Hi, guys. Welcome to the Creator Series, the Creator Roundtable. Today we have an all girl edition, and unfortunately, Voldazzi will not be joining us. She had to take care of something and take care of herself, and we wish her well and hope she's having a great day because I know she wasn't having that great a day when I spoke to her. But but we still have a great lineup. We have Amy, who you know from Coffee Break. Hi, Amy.
Hey!
And we have Circe, who we all know from several things all over the timeline, but most recently Nekazuma. But hi, girls. How are you? Hi, girls.
Yes, okay.
Thank you.
Hey everyone.
How are you guys today?
Well, I'm doing good. It's 5 p.m. here. First time I'm having a stream like after having to completely wake up.
Nice,
So this
nice,
is
nice.
really good, really good.
So this is
I'm
the
sure
optimal
you're
time for
better than me.
streams. So we know so we're having coffee break at 5 p.m. Do we call it like tea break instead? Like, because it's
Oh
kind of
yeah,
tea time.
high
High
tea
tea,
or
yeah,
whatever.
we can high tea, yeah. That leaves it open for a lot of other connotations, right? Um,
Ooh,
right, right.
yes, yes. That's even better.
Yeah, exactly. Hi guys, hi in the chat. I can't apparently chat today. Nice. Cersei, how's it going?
It's great. It's like 10 p.m. where I am, but this timing
Jeez.
is perfect. I'm like it's the time when I wind down and don't really have much things to do, and yeah, that's about it. So
Yeah.
nice to chat with you guys.
What is
This is
the
a
weather like you're in Singapore, right?
yes, it's so hot,
So hot, right? Yeah, I'm in
really
Jamaica. It's
hot.
pretty hot here as well. I was like thinking about doing some sort of ornate makeup to compete with Amy today, and I was like, it's too hot. It will all melt in the first 10 minutes. It's not happening.
You have
Yeah,
to
I
say
have a
good.
fan
A
pointing at my
Beyonce
face
fan.
so
I'm
that it
feeling a Beyonce
melts.
fan. Got
Oh
me
yeah,
looking so
here.
crazy right now.
No.
Yeah. So guys, I guess this is the creator series. It's about creators and their journeys and like maybe even how our journeys intersect in some way. I want to kind of start at the beginning. I know that people probably know about you already, but let's just go through very basically your background, Amy. What did you do before like we met you on Web3 and like on the Decoders channel?
Yeah. Before Web3, I was working at finance. I had been doing finance for 5 years at the time. Before that, I just went through college, then that did my MBA, and then like jumped straight into the full-time working at finance. But I always wanted to be in tech, and even when I was like starting my career at finance, I was like, next stop for me should be a startup or a tech company or something like that. That was like my goal. And luckily, it actually happened. I worked at a tech focused company for a few months, for like 7, 8 months before I quit and got full time Web3. And I've been doing a lot of stuff since then. Yeah.
Cool. And you, I don't know, most people know now, but you are a part of the Decoders team. You are our community manager, which is so awesome. We love it.
It is cute, yeah.
Love it. Love it. And Cersei, what's your background before Twitter goddess?
Hello. Actually, I don't know if I shared this before, but I was in like the STEM side of things, like not really in tech, not really in business. I was studying science, like triple science in high school. Then I went to college doing medicine. Then after yeah, I was a medical student for 3 whole years. But during that time I was doing I was very passionate in dance as well. I was doing like in a layman term breakdancing, but that's actually the wrong saying. It's like breaking.
Did
So
you
I was
say
very
breakdancing?
yeah, I was a break dancer or B girl. B girl is the better.
Ooh.
What
Before
am I finding out about you today? Oh my God, a breakdancing doctor.
yeah, like that was what that was then because people are always like, what are you doing now? But this question is interesting. I was like, oh my god, I forgot about this side of myself. But yeah, so I took a gap year of being a doctor. Like I left my classmates to focus on breaking for a year. Then during that year, I found out about crypto, and then I realized like then like because I had to create a separate Twitter for my crypto, I started just talking nonsense on it because I know that people in real life won't judge me. But then surprisingly the nonsense got more traction than the actual crypto stuff that I wanted to talk about. So so that's like so I was like, oh my god, I like being myself. I like talking nonsense. So I was like, let me just so that got me thinking a lot about my life. Like even just like whether I really want to do medicine and really whether if I want to continue dancing with like the people that I was with all the time. So I was like, I'm just gonna take a leap of faith. I'm gonna drop out of medicine. I'm gonna stop dancing, and I'm gonna see where I end up with. Yeah, so
I
that was
think you
really
ended up
Why
pretty
did you stop
good.
dancing?
Yeah.
um that's a good question.
Did it
I
not bring you joy anymore, or?
I do like it, but I feel like it doesn't like fit into my lifestyle now. Like I do enjoy like what I mean by quitting dancing is more like quitting the intense grind because before
Mm.
I wanted to like find more myself. I was dancing almost every day, like training every night. And then like when I was in med school I would like gym in the morning, then do lessons and study in the afternoon, then at night I'll go and dance. Then I was like, I think I need to take a chill pill. So that's why I stopped everything to focus on myself and of course on the side crypto. Then I kind of like got more and more like followers and opportunities. So yeah, that's the little background that I've never really shared in detail before.
That's crazy. That's such a cool, what's it called? Backstory.
Yeah.
What's it? It's not, there's something that we use all the time. It's not a backstory. It's like the lore of Circe
Origin
is
story.
so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
I'm gonna
realized
call you Dr. Breakdance from now on.
in finance. So yeah, so I'm trying to like feed information to myself about tech and finance now. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
So class, I have to ask you more questions, Amy. A complete beginner on this area, but that's what I've been trying to learn so recently. Yeah.
Nice. So, I guess my lore is I went to film school. I have a BFA. I worked in the film industry since I was 15, and I did all the kind of production jobs you can do. I've worked in almost every department. A couple that I just gave a miss because why? And then I ended up in the finance department, curiously enough. And pursued my creative pursuits on the side. So I still painted, did a little fine art, and I've done some writing. Some of it's out there, actually being shopped, but nothing, no bites yet. So, but maybe
This
one
is
day,
news.
you never know.
This is
But
new information for me.
yeah, a little bit of new information, sprinkle a little bit of alpha, a little bit of extra lore, I guess. Yeah, and I got into, I guess, NFTs and everything just honestly because I thought if I don't get in now, I'll be too old to get in. So I joined Clubhouse and started learning about, just listening to things about crypto and I knew about crypto, but more about NFTs. I had been, prior to Clubhouse, I'd been on the Gary Vee site, like ready to push the button to buy a patient penguin or whatever it was, and V Friends #1. And then I was like, $1,500 is a lot of money for something I don't really know or understand. So I backed out of it, and like fast forward like a month and a half later, somebody was selling a patient penguin for like 54K or something, and I was like, ooh. But what that was for me was a moment where it was like, well, this isn't going anywhere. Like, you know, yes, it may cycle like the crypto market, you know, up and down, obviously, naturally, but it's not going anywhere. It's now a part of the life's meta in some way. Maybe it's not mainstream yet, but it's still going to be around. You don't sell a bunch of things for that high a price and it just disappears. You know, especially with somebody like Gary Vee, who's so a part of the zeitgeist these days. So yeah, I went to Clubhouse. I learned some stuff about that, and then the Clubhouse guys who I followed or listened to regularly started moving over to Twitter Spaces. So I started getting involved with that. That's where I first met Jazz, who I believe was the first person I met in the Decoders team, which was a previous team, and that's how I met all of these guys, like, originally. And it's been really fun. Like, yes, of course, they're trying moments, but it's been really fun. It's been really fun to learn. And then to be running a creator series when I still don't even consider myself a creator is crazy. But here we are, right? So I guess my next question would be like, when was that moment that you're like, oh my God, I am a creator? Like, this is one of my titles now. I am a multi-hyphenate, and one of those hyphenates is creator. Circe.
When like perhaps when I was dancing and there's a lot of things you can be good at in dancing, but for me it was more the creative side. Like, some people are really good at technique, some people are good at like stamina, but for me I could just like take things out of the air. And then also when I was building my account, when I was way smaller, like ideas just keep coming out and I could just say whatever I want on this platform, which resonated. But I feel like now it's a bit harder compared to when I first like when nobody knew me, then I could just like keep churning out tweets and like ideas about everything. But yeah, it was when I think around then at the start, and and it's a nice word. I wouldn't, honestly, I don't think I identify as a creator yet, because but this is a perhaps it's a paradox, because to create is like what VP was saying, like you just take something out of this, I don't know, out of nowhere. But because this process is so like unknown, I don't have a creative process per se. That's what I feel. But yeah, back to you or Amy.
So I would say like you're definitely a creator, but it's also I get exactly what you're saying, and that's a little bit why I don't identify. Part of it's imposter syndrome for sure, but part of it, oh, hi Amy, see ya.
Coming, just a second.
But it is this, like, for example, my space, people consider me a creator because of my space, and it's kind of like I just feel like I'm some chick on the internet talking to people. But you know, there are not a lot of chicks on the internet talking to people and doing it regularly and consistently. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I create a certain vibe, and I've kept a certain vibe on my show and kept it consistent, whereas we've seen a bunch of people come and go. Hi, Amethyst, long time no see. We've seen a lot of people come and go, girls, boys, everyone, come and go throughout the last 18 months, who, it's not that they're not creators, but like we're the ones who are standing here steadfast, like creating spaces or creating this series or just creating. Like, even when the market's dead, we're here, like, doing something, providing some value of some sort, even if it's just a stupid meme, or even if it's just going to somebody else's space and trolling to make people laugh, which is my specialty. Amy, when was that moment that you felt like, hey, this is what I am now, or part of what I am now?
Yeah, I mean, I've never really felt like I'm a creator, but I mean, if we identify that creator title as when you realize that you are here to stay and like you're part of this community and maybe you're creating some things, it's just different for everyone. For you, it's spaces. Circe, it's content. I create nothing. I just contribute in different ways. So
You create a lot.
for me,
You
for me,
create.
that was
You are the
probably,
creator of vibes.
yeah, I'm just existing. So yeah, for me, probably that moment was last summer when I actually um I joined the gods and then found out about the goddesses. We started doing spaces with the goddesses, and it was really fun. I became fully a part of a community. We took charge. We did things on our sub community's behalf and things like that. So that's when I felt like I should be in the space because there is going to be a lot of like this space has a lot long has a lot of things to come. So yeah, that's probably when, but I still don't really feel like a creator. I just feel like a contributor,
Yeah,
just vibing around.
yeah, yeah. I think it's interesting because like there are creators that are monetizing, and I think that that's a
Hmm.
really clear yardstick of being a creator. But I don't personally feel like money and being a creator are the end all be all, shall I say. Like there's so many influencers that we know who call themselves creators, and it's like, what actually are you creating really? But like they're creating great wealth for themselves, or they've monetized their Twitter. And I just I haven't had a need to do that. I mean, I don't have a very big following in comparison to most people. I guess if I got Twitter Blue, that would give me more exposure. But I
Definitely, yeah.
I don't I'm not comfortable with moving to that step, as well as I don't really know if I want the Twitter monetization, even if I did join Twitter Blue. Maybe I'd want the exposure, and it's probably something that I should consider, considering that I'm doing this regularly. But um, yeah, I mean, I feel like also, I think that this title of creator has really come to mean content creators, and there's so many
Hmm.
different kinds of creators. I have Web3 musicians coming up soon. I have Web3 artists coming up, and I would consider those guys all creators. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Um, as well as like there's something to be said for and to not discount like I just said, the creator of vibes, because like for example, there are people who love exactly, but there are people who love Solana Side Up, and why do they love it? Because it's a safe space for them to be whoever they want to be that day, and it's just a vibe. And I guess so when I realized that like actually, Amethyst was one of the people who told me like you can do this and you should do this. So thank you to him. But also, it was kind of after I had a really big space, one of my very early spaces, the first ones that I hosted by myself solo. It was a really big space and it was pretty crazy and whatever. And I was like, wow, people like this. But of course, it was a really early space. So I was just like beginner's luck or whatever. And we were down already, but not as down as right now, maybe. But I think in January of this year, like I decided to take like a month's break, and people were really upset that I wasn't going to be around for a month. And like, I think that was the moment that I was like, wow, I mean something to people. Like, this is something. So that was pretty cool. Um, that was a pretty cool moment and a pretty cool moment in my creator journey, should I say. But like you say, like maybe none of us consider ourselves creators, but we definitely provide value, and in that, I think we can consider ourselves creators. So my next question was like, what are the challenges that you've faced? Like we've had pretty big roller coaster this year. The last 18 months, I would say, in Web3. And by the way, like if you have other things that you're creating out of Web3, I'd love to discuss them. You know what I'm saying? It's not, of course, don't you hold on one second. Carlos says something. I want to put it up. Don't you think monetization will lead to lower quality of content and more of the content? Yeah, I do. Because I mean, if we look at kind of when I came into the space, um, you know, the heyday of like M. Mark, who is my brother from another mother, but M. Mark having 5 phones in spaces and tweeting 800 times a day just to stay relevant in NFT inspect, and you know, um, shilling villains like thousands of posts per day, and just realizing that that was the game, and that was the game. Twitter monetization really wasn't a thing then, but that was the game so that they got noticed and were top of the pack to become the person who got paid for shilling a project, or become the person who was working at whatever Shilling was working at for a while, that you know gave him a paycheck. Like, yeah, I do think that the monetization is, that's my personal thought. I think that the monetization will lead to lower quality of content. You'll have, but there'll be more of it, right? Because you know, it's kind of, people are going to gravitate towards something that they can make money. So it's up to you to choose the better quality stuff. Right now, I feel like there's not a lot of stuff to choose from. So there are two sides, I guess. What do you think, Amy?
I totally agree. I think once, I mean, creators that already make enough from their content, like accounts with huge followers, they will not really change that much. But we're already seeing it in like meme accounts and like news accounts, you know, with some follower base. They've started pushing out more clickbaits for more, you know, just like weird content, just to get to that monetization goal. And I don't know, I hate it. I just like hate it. I have blocked so many blue checked accounts, verified accounts on my personal, just so I can actually get to the good news, you know, to important actual news. And I mean, my account that you will know, it's also verified. But I just hate that if I don't do that, I get like DMs limit. I get, I don't know, tons of limitations, shadow banned, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even a Twitter, like active Twitter user. Like I do not tweet every day. I tweet maybe once a week. I do not have huge following, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the whole monetization is changing everything, but I think it's gonna get way better after what is it, after the X coin thing starts, because a lot of the normies will not care about the X coin as much as they care about the dollars, the actual dollars. So it should get better. What is it?
I'm so gonna temporarily suspend you someday. You're gonna be so sorry. But that was funny. So are either of you monetized on Twitter? Because you're both verified, right?
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, Elon knows enough about me without me ever taking that further step. And I mean, you know, the gains from what I see are not like not not worth it to me to kind of go take that step personally. But
a lot to get nice. No, like to just add on to your point about what, like you say, it's not worth it, right? You really need to have a lot of impressions to get monetized. Like for me, I do have a following, like kind of a decent size following, and all my posts get decent amount of engagement, but still, like I'm not like anywhere near the cutoff for monetization. So it's like those people who get cut off, they really have to reply a lot. Or it's either that or
Mhm.
like their each of their posts really have to get a lot of engagement, and even then it's only like less than 1K. So at this point I feel like the effort to reward ratio is very low unless it's already something that you're doing. I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just my
I
opinion.
mean, Fiddler right now is doing what is it, a 500,000 impressions challenge. So he's
Oh.
just like replying to what's that guy that we
I
we all
know
know and
Andrew
love?
Tate.
And he responds to a bunch of Andrew Tate tweets a day, and that helps with his impressions. And it's like, so you're gonna hit your goal, but the quality of your content, like, you know. And I
That's
mean,
true.
we all know the game, so we know how to do it, but it's just whether you want to do it or not.
Mm.
So, Circe, in terms of being a content creator or a creator in general, what are the challenges you faced?
What is the challenges? Um, Sometimes creative block. Like because on some days you're on a roll, you just everything just comes out, and then on other days you're like, I have nothing to say. But you know that the algo is gonna punish you if you don't say anything. But at the same time, I don't want to post just for the sake of posting. That's the first challenge. But the second challenge is more like an internal challenge. When like I said something earlier that when I was small, my creative juices really just flowed freely. Like there's a lot of things I say, and I was looking through some of my old tweets because I wanted to post them, like repurpose my tweets on other platforms. So I actually had a folder I screenshot. I was like, why did I have such high quality of tweets then, but not now? So I feel this it's more of the self-imposed stress that like, okay, I'm a big account, I need to think carefully. Like everything I post must be vetted, but as a result, I feel like that took away a little bit of magic behind my post. But yeah, I'm just working on trying to find it back. But that's a huge challenge for me. Everything I post, I really think through a lot, in case I say something wrong or I say something to offend people. But I mean, of course, a large part of me is to like post anything, but is a very subconscious block that I have to work through myself. So yeah, this two challenges.
Yeah,
Um,
that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I know the algorithm is just brutal about that, and a lot of people complain about the same things, like you have to post every day. And I don't know, I do not feel like doing anything some days, so I cannot even imagine how it feels like to like feel that you have to post content on or stuff like that. That is challenging, yeah. Sounds
yeah,
challenging.
yeah. There's some days where you'll just see me go because I
Yep.
want to post a GM. I'll just put GM loves or something like that, or GMers, and like that's all I can muster because like I can't think of something funny or inspire. I usually do something either funny or inspiring, and I just can't think of it. As well as, not to discount the fact that social media does take a toll on my mental health after it,
Yeah.
just when I feel like I'm holding on to it too tight or I'm becoming obsessed with it. Like the other day, I clicked into Discord, I cleared all of my red dots, closed it, and clicked back into it. And I was like, all right, I'm done for the night. You know what I'm saying? Because I just did something insane. Um, so for me, I'm really careful about that because that can make me like not a fun person to be around if my
Yeah.
mental health is taking a hit. So that's a challenge for me in particular. Yeah, definitely coming up with something to say every day, or she'll be back every day, or even 4 times a day. There's some days where I will tweet like 20 times. Of course, Elon's limited me somewhat now, but not being verified, which would probably be the only reason I'll level up. But uh, some days I'll tweet and message and just really be feeling it. But I do think that one of the struggles in general, and you've already touched on it, Circe, of a creator is like going from it well, like this is I don't get paid from anything I do right now, right? And I don't necessarily want to because I've learned a lot and it's been a like NFT Web3 university and that's fine with me. But that switch from it being like a fun hobby or a fun side hustle to being a job and like now feeling like you're kind of under duress, like that's when like do you know what I mean? It's like that's what you're talking about. It's like, okay, I'm gonna tweet and I'll pop off 15 tweets in a day because it's fun, and then suddenly it becomes I have to do 15 tweets in a day because I got to keep the algo happy, or I got to keep this person who's paying me 10 cents a tweet happy. That's where it's kind of like, how do I make this work and still look like, at least appear like I'm having fun? Because how do you do that?
I don't know. I feel like that's a huge problem for other influencers too, like TikTok, Insta influencers. You can tell actually when you look closely when that switch happens because they start pushing content that is not them. I find it really funny when like I don't know, an influencer that I've been following who I know is like really into quality stuff promotes something cheap and acts like I'm using this every single day, that's kind of when you know that they have switched.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't think that there's a way to like hide it. There's a way to like not make it obvious, so why not just be honest about it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just say that,
Hashtag
guys,
ad.
it's like hashtag ad.
You know?
Or just say that, this is what I do, this is how I feel, I don't feel like tweeting today, so what? Blah blah blah, something like that.
Yeah. I have done a couple of those where it's like GMs, I'm not feeling it today, but I'm still GMing kind of thing. So
Exactly.
Decoders is in the chat and says content has to be seen before connecting with people though. True. Vittler switch 100%. Hate to see it.
Behind the account. I thought it was
I mean, true. Yeah. And it's that balance of being seen, keeping some of your true identity, uh, you know, and I mean, for me, I want to keep my integrity. Like SSU is never going to be sponsored because you didn't realize that was him, Circe.
I thought it was
I'm sorry that the French accent doesn't come through the actual comment, but I knew who was in charge of the Decoders account.
Yeah.
Usually that comment came up. So let's see what else he has to say. Fittler switched 100%. Hate to see it. It happens. He'll find his way back one day. We hope. So yeah, no. So it's such a delicate balance that, I mean, is that something you check in with yourself daily or like kind of analyze it all? In terms of like, how do I keep this balance? How do I feel about this? Am I good with this? Like, is that something that you check in regularly with yourself to see if you're comfortable with your trajectory right now? Circe?
That's a good question. Let me think. I feel that perhaps I don't, because of how I started, I don't have to check in too often, but I will, like every time I do get an offer, I do think of like what this will mean to me and my account, because I do like my account quite a bit because it was kind of like when I said when I first grew, it was cause I was just being myself, and it was, this is very important, sacred to me, because this was an area I could be myself when I could not be myself in real life. So it is always very easy to check whether I'm aligned with my own core values for this personal account. And I will never deny the fact that I like money, But I'll always be honest if I'm getting paid for something. This, I don't understand why the people like to demonize money. Like I love money. People can pay me. I will tell you if you want me to talk about product. If it sucks, I will tell everybody that it sucks. But I don't mind saying things, honest things about the product. But yeah, but that's one thing. Like I don't have to check because I feel like this account is somewhere I can be very close to myself. And the second point being, before Circe, I personally don't really like social media. Like I mean I like connecting with people, but I can't really use social media for too long. Like not in a way that it affects my mental health, but in a way that like I just have no affinity with social media. So it's always
Mhm.
very easy for me to like just switch off and be like what's this rubbish? or like oh these people are just saying this because they're just stuck in their echo chamber. But yeah, I'm actually not that. I look young. I mean I'm quite young, but honestly I feel like a boomer. Like I just don't get social media like before Circe. Like this which is why this is very easy for me to be like, oh I'm just blogging, I'm just talking to people. Yeah, like I don't know if that makes sense for this question.
Got
Yeah.
you. So this isn't my personal account. I do have a personal Twitter, which I pretty much only use for complaining to corporations about their service. Um,
Me too.
I mean, listen, I'm still fighting with T-Mobile to try to get my father's phone unlocked, and that is the only way I can get a response. Um, it
Yeah,
it it has great benefits when it comes to complaining to corporations, except
true.
if it's FedEx or Home Depot. They don't answer. They don't
I
care.
don't know. I
Too
have
big.
no idea.
Yeah. They don't answer. They don't care. But I mean, my personal is completely different. So when this was an old Twitter that I had that I I had under this name, but I didn't really ever use. So when I decided to do the Web3 thing, I was like, all right, I'll use this. Um, and I wasn't super active at first because I was just using it to listen in spaces and, maybe talk to a few people. So I had like 300 followers forever because I wasn't into the follower game at all. And that was when the algorithm was a lot more forgiving, right? Um, so, um, so kind of when and I still am not super into the follower game, although if I could get to 2,900 this week, it would be great. It's like
Let's go.
it goes to 275 and then it goes back down to like 267. No, what's it? 2875. Then it goes back down to 2867. It's kind of been wavering there for about 10 days. So just gonna get over that hump. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely check in daily, especially if I'm like doing a video. Like I did a video recently and I had a moment where I was like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. And so I went to seek out somebody who was involved in what I said to just basically be the first person to tell that person what I said.
Mm.
And I mean, I guess,
Mm.
it comes to a point when it gets to a point where, I guess when I first started on social media, and this is something we could talk about, that moment where like that third wall disappeared because I was very like, I kind of, yes, I was myself, but I wasn't probably my true self because it's like I have a kind of trolly degen side that I wasn't really showing. And everybody, Dee Deep said I was the most, famously said I was the most wholesome person in the space. And it's like, yes, I definitely have a wholesome side. I'm definitely nicer than the average cat in Web3 for the most part. Like, I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Vittler can attest to that for sure. But there's also a side of me that likes trolling and likes fucking, hazing people and giving people a hard time kind of thing. And when that side of me came out, I think I felt more comfortable because then every aspect of me was, whereas before I was kind of managing it and I was like media training Epiphany a little bit, and that was the same with my, uh, that's the same with decoders. Like at first I felt, first it was that I wasn't comfortable, and then it was that I thought I had to be a certain way, and now it's kind of like, here we go. Let's do it
Who
again.
cares? Yep,
I
exactly.
am who I am, and you either vibe with me or you don't, and I can't control it either way. But like if something is
That is
said
it.
that I'm not proud of, I do try to like go and make it good with at least the person, because some things are said in the moment that, like, I remember what I said, that I went to find the person was, I didn't love the art in a project, and I referred to it as terrible, which was not really the case. It was that I didn't resonate with it, and also I was probably overtired at the time, and my language kind of slips when I'm overtired. So, who cares is the best mindset to live by always. All right, grab
Yeah,
the broomstick and ride on. Awesome, thanks, Rob. Words to live by.
I don't think you said anything wrong. The I don't know. I think it comes with the job. For any job, that you should be able to take criticism and opinions of others. If you're putting your work out there, people are going to have opinions, and not everyone is going to enjoy it or like get your vision, or I don't know, maybe your job is just shitty, who knows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So getting like people telling somewhere that your art is terrible should not be like an offense to you. It's just an opinion. And I don't know, like you shouldn't even feel the need to go to that person and be like, hey, it's just I was terrible. I don't know. It
No,
just,
I did.
yeah.
I mean, I said I think that you can do better. And I mean, other people had said it. So I went and I said, I think that you can do better. I think that I was probably overstating it by saying that, but I think there's better out there for you. I mean, in the same way that Vittler and I did a show with Fat Cats, and I'm a huge Fat Cats whale. I'm a huge fan of theirs, um, uh, which I guess some people bad art equals bad art, which I guess some people don't necessarily get, but I really love the team, and I've been in there since the very beginning. But when we were on the stream, I was like, I'm not thrilled with some of the upgrade. Like there's one trait that I told them straight out was awful, and I also said I'm not happy that I kind of am a naked black cat maxi, and I don't really like what the naked black cats look like in the upgrade. So now I'm gonna have 15 cats that I can't look at. They've turned out better. They did say don't worry, and they did turn out better, and I do enjoy quite a few of my naked black cats. But I got it out there and I told them straight up. And
Yeah.
I think another good point, because we had a big meeting the other day, and there were some people who weren't altogether happy, and they were saying, oh, I don't want to be negative or whatever. I said they can't know everything, and like we are their mirrors, like us as the tippy top holders, like who are in the executive circle. We're their mirrors, so like they can't see every aspect of what's happening in the project. So that's our responsibility if we want this to succeed. And I guess, like you said, maybe I have a false sense of responsibility to people to be nicer or to be more thoughtful with my words. But yeah,
Who cares?
who cares? Who cares, as the Decoder's account says today. Cool. Well, I mean, we are coming close on the time. We got 15 minutes left. But I do want to get to some other questions. What have you found being the most fulfilling as a creator so far?
I know my answer.
Okay.
It's when people DM you or reply you that like, oh, I think this made my day, or certain things are like, oh, I realized something from this tweet, and I feel like that's the most fulfilling, because you're like helping them, but indirectly, like it doesn't cost you anything, but you somehow made someone's life better in that moment. So yeah, that's the most fulfilling for me.
Yeah. pretty much the same. Like I've heard some people have commented that either my space or hearing me talk or something I've done has helped them get out of a dark place or feel better for that day. That's really been the most fulfilling for me.
That's cute. You both have such wholesome answers, and mine is like fully egoistic.
Get
It's
it?
just
Get
purely
it?
for me that I've made really good friends in the process, and like I know that as someone who always thought I'm not good at making friends, I've met probably what I would say is gonna be lifelong friends for me. So yeah, that's the best part for me. I'm sorry for being selfish, but this is who I am.
No sorries. We are not apologizing here. This is
Exactly, we're not
not an
apologizing.
apologize
Who
state.
cares?
Who cares, right? So,
Only you know what's important to you.
huh?
I mean, only you will know what's important to you.
Exactly.
We-
I just want to circle back on something you said earlier, Circe, because I feel like people are always like, "Oh, you don't seem to care about money." Of course, I care about money. I'm a Capricorn. I love fucking money. I love what money can do. You know what I'm saying? But it's
Who
not the,
doesn't?
huh?
Who doesn't? Like
uh,
I
people
mean, Mother
lie.
Teresa. I don't know. I don't know.
Uh,
They're, I mean, I would say that I have an aunt who repels money, and I just feel like maybe you don't like it, but like I'll take that you're repelling and put it in the bank, whatever. But but I can't remember what I was gonna say. But I do like money. I just know that all money is not good money, and so it was very flattering at first when I got offers to do sponsored spaces and I got offers coming in, but I also kind of really slept on all of those offers before I acted, um, because I didn't want it to be something that I was apologizing for later. Um, and that's the same with like the people I've aligned myself with. I've chose people that I 100% believe in, and I 100%. Obviously, you can't know people fully, so you know. But the two teams that I work for, I 100% believe in, and the big part about it is that unless the project is a complete failure, I know that we're not rugging, because I'd never want to have to stand up and like apologize for somebody losing their money or anything like that. The great thing about coders is nobody's going to lose any money because I'm not spending any money. Minus the microtransaction for minting, I'm sure. So yeah, you know, like King Fudd is in spaces all the time at the moment, and I'm a huge fan of his. Huge. From the very beginning, I thought he was the talented one and the one that I resonated. And almost every space he's in nowadays is like this apology tour and this also explanation of why he was friends with Alex and why he did every move that he's done. And I mean, yes, who cares? He doesn't have to answer them if he doesn't want to, but because he's
yeah.
actually somebody with integrity, he feels like he feels like he should. But I'm just kind of like, can we move on now? Like, you know, you made a mistake. You aligned with somebody who wasn't right for your brand or for your whole being, and you learned your lessons. And but yeah, that's the risk with accepting every offer, you know, that comes your way, and not being discerning about the offers. And I guess that would be my big concern. But yeah,
Makes
I
sense.
mean, of course, the friends along the way, Amy, of course, that's a super fulfilling part, because look, there's no money in it right now, so I'm staying for the friends, right?
Exactly.
um how do you feel like you've evolved since I've already kind of touched on this for myself, but how do you feel like you've evolved since kind of claiming your creator crown? Circe.
Yeah.
From Dr. Breakdance to ...
I was hoping you called Amy first, but um, how has that evolved? Oh,
Maybe nothing's changed. Maybe
yeah,
nothing's changed.
perhaps at most just okay, when I first started Circe, I got out of being a doctor of breakdancer. So I could spend all my time in Circe. But then after that I got more things in my life. I mean like good things. I started being close to people and I have like good relationships in my real life. So I spend more time on that. So I feel like the only change was how can I maintain as same as I can while still maintaining this other relationships that I have formed in real life. So I feel like it's the whole idea of Circe as me as a creator has not changed. It's just because I have more things on my hands. So perhaps my processes have changed. I need to be more organized in like how I do my Twitter. I limit myself to like maybe a certain amount of time rather than before. And how do I make sure that I am still active when I'm out with my friends? Like I mean I schedule tweets once a week because that's when I go out with my boyfriend. So but I still want to be online on Twitter. But I don't use my phone at all when I'm with my boyfriend. That's something I ensure. So it's how I
Nice.
sure yeah my account still goes with all these changes because at the start like there was a period I disappeared completely because I like a few days I missed because I was out then I forgot that the Twitter algo will punish you and then when I come back it was very hard to get back again. So after I got it back now it's more like a very process based changed I feel in myself. Yeah. I'm a Taurus. I love money too. Just to Capricorn. I wanted to say that, but I forgot.
Money changed me. They say it happens. I
Can I
mean,
just add one more thing about
yeah.
this whole money thing? People think money change you, but people who money changes it just amplifies who they are, or either that or their relationship with money isn't like that good. Like for me, I know I love money and I know what money does in my life, which is what gives me the power to reject deals that I don't think align in my life because I know money's place in my life. Like I have money under control.
Amazing.
Money don't control me. So my love for it is not gonna make me go like crazy. So
Yeah,
that's just
that's well
what I
said. That's exactly like the vibe, my vibe at least.
yeah.
Definitely. Amy,
It just gave me much more freedom in my like daily personal life. I I mean, I can live wherever I want. I can wake up whenever I want. I can just do whatever I want during the day as long as I have my laptop with me and I can do my job. I can spare a few hours to do my job and like it's the feeling itself is amazing for someone who has studied very hard and then like worked 8 hours every single day for a while. I don't know. It's just I don't know how to describe it, but like having that freedom, but yet you still know that you can make things, create things or whatever, and be um, productive. I don't know how to describe it.
I think
With all that freedom is just great for me.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
the I think that you can wake up in the morning, you can have an idea, and you can act it in the afternoon in
yep,
Web3 is so fantastic. Like I could have done this series a long time ago, but I mean, I just had too much going on. But like, this is something that I had the idea for a while ago, and I could have legit had it out within a week if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I didn't, but I just think that that's fantastic. And especially right now in Web3, yes, there's no money, blah, 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 all of the down bad sentiment that we're going through. But there are so many, there's so much leniency that we're afforded. We can afford to fail like 100 times right now. Not
Yep.
that we want to, but we can afford to because, there's not a huge viewership. There's not a there's a good viewership and a loyal viewership, but there's not a huge viewership. We're not in a bull run where there's lots of money at stake or any of that stuff. So it's kind of like on the job learning. It's dope.
exactly.
And
It's like it's open field, do whatever you want
yeah,
kind of situation.
yeah, exactly. So cool. All right. I'm not going to go over the time. I'm going to wrap it up. We have like 7 more questions on my list, but I am going
Oh,
to we only got like halfway through, but I always pad. So I'm going to just ask you if there's because this is an all-girl crew, is there stuff as a female creator that you feel is different that like when you're producing something, I'm not really saying this properly, but like what would you say, are there any key differences to being a female creator? I mean, there are not very many of us to start out with, right? But is
hmm
there anything that you feel like is important for a female creator to be putting out there? Um, and I'll kind of start with a conversation starter in that I personally don't subscribe to the women for women creators, because I find that ultimately, as good as and sacred and wonderful as those intentions are going out, when we get into that space, I feel like it becomes very toxic very fast. And I'm just, while I feel like I'm myself and I treat women the way I want to be treated without starting a group chat or, you know, declaring that I'm a woman for woman person necessarily.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that sentiment. I do not need a positive discrimination for being a woman when I already qualify and deserve, whatever I whatever men do. I don't need a special treatment, and I would like to get that from other people too, to like have other people to have the same sentiment towards me as well, because that's definitely how I approach other women. And yeah, that is something that I do not like in this space as well. There are a lot of those like girls for girls kind of vibes going around, but like when you delve in to their servers, group chats, whatever, it can get very toxic very fast. Um, but in general, I don't know. I've never really felt um, that different in the space because for a very long time until uh, when was it? Until like this January or something, it was not doxed. I was using an NFT PFP, and it was just amazing. No one cared. No one even like wondered what I looked like, and everyone was just like talking to me, or like I was just existing in the space with my porn stash, like NFT PFP, and that was just fun. But after getting docs, nothing really changed. Everything is just still the same. Like, it's just there's like a face to the name, and that's it. And it hasn't changed how people, at least like my close friends and my communities that I love, interact with me. It's all the same, at least for me. I don't know about other people's experiences, but yeah, for me, except for people calling me bro, um, when it clearly says my name, and like Amy is a very girly name. It's just, um, yeah, I do not have any specific thing to share. That's it.
Yeah. I will admit that I do like the fact that I have the queen and the first lady title in a couple of servers. But apart from that, it is what it is. Every once in a while I have to, the boys be boying, so I have to sprinkle some girl fairy dust in it. But other than that, it's all the same.
Yes, fairy dust.
Gets a little too boy sometimes. Circe.
Yeah. It was so funny listening for a bit, but um, I do think that the whole idea of females needing to support females is something that we need to do, but not perpetuate the idea of. Because if we perpetuate the idea, it ends up marginalizing a group that's already very small. Like once we create this idea that we need to support each other, and but I still find myself like supporting females perhaps more because I understand how hard it is. Like sometimes, especially like when females, they're just happy. Like we like our faces. We like it. We like to post our stuff. Then so when females post like their faces, I'm extremely inclined to say like, oh my god, looking great, because somewhere a male is gonna come along and blame them for engagement falling off their faces, and that triggers me. I mean, it doesn't trigger me. It just annoys the hell out of me because you mean females can't look good now? Like, it's a problem when these females look good. I find that, and if a female look good, it feels like that's all that she is there for, which I am very annoyed with the idea, but I don't really know what I can do to help it. But I don't think that forcing the idea that females have to support females is gonna help this situation that's already there. But rather like what you guys say, like how we're just integrated into everything. Like because ultimately everyone is, I mean, like even if you're just comparing males and females, we are different and we do have different strengths and weaknesses. Like VPIP say, like sometimes the boys are just boring and they need a bit of female fairy dust, and vice versa, because both have their weaknesses and we can help each other. But somehow just saying this all, just giving these ideas like energy, I don't think is that good. Like yeah, like all this perpetuating the idea, and then it will get toxic because if someone doesn't support a female, if a random girl talks rubbish, still gonna hold her accountable. I'm not gonna support her. But then this whole idea will be like, hey, why are you bullying the girl? Is it because she's a girl? But nah, if any female or male talks rubbish, I'm gonna, yeah,
Exactly.
sorry for the
Exactly.
rest.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Good
All
anymore.
right. Well, I feel like Vittler's saying this, but we are going to need a part two because just in this last question, I have like 15 other questions things
Let's
I want to
go.
discuss. Um, but huh?
I'm excited.
Yeah, right. It's been so awesome. Wait, I have 6 daughters. Rob has 6 daughters. Why do you treat us like this then, bro? God. Anyways, I guess just to wrap it up, I would love if there's somebody you could think of who would be a great person for the Creator Roundtable. I would love you to recommend them. I'm probably not going to do any more till maybe after Breakpoint, after this first set, but I definitely want to start setting up more and making it a regular thing. I'm doing 2 this Thursday, 2 next Thursday, which is a lot in one day, especially just to start. Probably Vittler. Go on holiday, Vittler.
Yeah, come on.
Recommend spending time with us, recommending yourself. That's hilarious. Anyway, so yeah, if there's anybody you'd recommend that you think would be a good addition to the Creator Roundtable, I would love to hear. Amy,
Right
you keep
now?
in mind that Icy's already coming on next week, girl. So don't recommend
yeah.
her.
No, right now you want us to recommend people right now?
Yeah, if you think of somebody right now, why not? We'll round it out with a recommendation.
Beck could be nice.
Beck?
Do you know? Yeah.
I don't know Beck.
She posts incredible, funny videos.
Oh, I'm gonna have
I'll
to look
send
her
you
up.
her profile.
Okay, yeah, definitely. And Circe, do you have anybody you'd recommend?
AC.
Who?
AC.
AC. AC's on the show next week.
Oh,
AC's on the show next week.
I can't wait to see her face. I've never seen her face before.
Oh, well, I am not sure. It is not a requirement to be doxxed for our show, but I'm not sure if you will be seeing her beautiful face. But if you are, you're in for a treat.
Okay.
But yeah, no, she'll be on the show next week. Empress, you know, she's an ETH creator, but I love her. Like, somebody see will ooh, I will follow them. I will follow the person back, like, you know, because I hold you all in high esteem. So I'm like, hopefully this person's cool. Knowing that, we all follow people that we don't actually know, but she's dope. And then tonight, guys, we have props, Matt from Lonely Listeners, and crayons. So that will be at 7 p.m. Eastern. So, ladies, thank you so much for being a part of the first one. It made it really nice, really comfortable. Love you so much.
This
Have a
was really
great rest of the
fun.
day.
It's horrendous.
And we'll see you next time, guys.
Thank you for